So the internet has been going crazy about whether Gucci Mane is a clone or not. Now, when I kept getting messages about this rumor, I was very skeptical for 3 reasons. First is the fact that the general public was agreeing that Gucci Mane is a clone. In reality, the general public are generally ignorant and couldn't identify a replacement, much less a clone, if it was right in their face. Secondly, truth goes through 3 stages. First is ridiculed, second is violently opposed, and third is accepted as self-evident. This Gucci Mane clone story seems to have bypassed stage 1 and 2 and landed squarely in stage 3. Lastly, after I combed through some evidence, I found out that this story started from a fake news website that claimed Boosie said that the man that left prison is not the real Gucci Mane. And allegedly he said this on an interview, but in reality, he never did. So in a nutshell, Gucci Mane is not a clone. However, it seems that MK Ultra is at work in this situation, and they have created a great marketing ploy to parlay this excitement into a clothing line and a reality show. Now let's take a look at what happened to Gucci Mane. Now there are a couple bullet points that I want to discuss. The first is starting a rumor, the agenda, the real clones, and lastly, my final thoughts. Now in this section, we're going to take a look at how this rumor got started. So in this article, it says the theory was fueled by a fake article published June 19th on the website thingsyoutthink.com, which reported Lil Boosie, another rapper, who said the man who left prison is not the real Gucci Mane. Charlamagne tha God last spoke with Hatch on May the 26th, 2015. The show said in a blog on Wednesday, and the article is totally fake. So on June the 22nd, The Breakfast Club went ahead and uploaded the Lil Boosie interview in which people believe that he stated that Gucci Mane was a clone. And when most people watched the interview in its entirety, they discovered he never did. Now on the same day, Charlamagne tha God went ahead and uploaded this video in which he basically stated that he had an interview with Lil Boosie in 2015 and he never stated that Gucci Mane was a clone. Now here's an image of the infamous ice cream tattoo. A lot of people have been sending me images stating that he doesn't have it anymore, so he must be a clone. Here's a sample of one of the images that I received with Gucci Mane with and without his tattoo. However, as I dug deeper, I did find pictures of Gucci Mane with his tattoo. And here's another example. So here in this article it says Gucci Mane's ice cream tat is still intact, though laser removal did occur. They go on to say they reported that Gucci Mane's infamous ice cream tattoo had disappeared, but now new pictures have surfaced that show that Gucci's famous tat is still intact. Those sources do confirm that Gucci did have a few laser removal sessions done to the tattoo, resulting in fading and it not being as prominent as before. Now the next argument is that Gucci Mane had a pot belly, he was overweight and had a bad diet. And here in this image we can see that he did have a gut. Here's another image of Gucci Mane with his pot belly. Now what a lot of people won't tell you is that Gucci Mane has mental issues. He was sent to a psychiatric ward multiple times. Matter of fact, after getting out of the psychiatric ward, he got the tattoo on his cheek. Now, if you know anything about psychiatric wards or mental institution, is that people lose weight. And if we're dealing with MK Ultra, as I believe, that would explain the change of demeanor and his vernacular. Here's another article where it says judge sends Gucci Mane to psychiatric hospital. Now in this section, let's talk about the agenda. Now if you guys have been watching Gucci Mane's latest videos, you know that it's pretty much him acting a buffoon and advertising name brands. Now in this screenshot we have him telling his girlfriend that he's wearing Cartier glasses. In this screenshot he's again advertising, but this time a name brand shoes. In this screenshot he's again advertising, but this time a Fendi book bag. Here he is again advertising his name brand belt. And honestly, I really hope he's getting paid for all this advertisement, because here again he's advertising another name brand, this time Louis Vuitton. And the coonery just doesn't stop. He goes on to show us his bracelets and his watches. You know, I really believe that one of the many reasons that they let this guy out is to coon and to advertise products. Here he is again, but this time telling his girlfriend that he's wearing Jupiter boots. Now here's some footage of him finally advertising something that he allegedly owns, which is his clothing line, Galantic. So the agenda is pretty clear. They're allowing Gucci Mane to be the coon and buffoon that he usually is, get him to advertise people's products, and then give him his own clothing line and a reality show. Now in this section, we're going to take a look at the real clones. Now let's take a look at my final thoughts. Gucci Mane, like so many other rappers, are ignorant, uneducated degenerates that help white society perpetuate the dumb nigga buck stereotypes of the past. While on the one hand, whites will complain that blacks have a low IQ, they're unsophisticated, uneducated, and act and dress like thugs, they have nothing to say when corporations and record companies endorse and promote blacks that exhibit the aforementioned. One has to question the sanity of any individual that has such a low self-esteem that they will name themselves after a brand name such as Gucci, Prada, or Versace. Some people will argue that Gucci is a family name passed down by his father. However, how do you explain the huge Gucci logo on Gucci Mane's hand? Gucci Mane, Fader Magazine, and others have created the perfect buzz, so now they can launch a clothing line and a reality show. Which is why Gucci Mane said he would not agree or denounce the claims that he is a clone. Now, although he has not been cloned, I suspect either a soul transfer or MK Ultra as the culprit behind the difference in his demeanor and diet. However, if I had to pick, I would lean towards MK Ultra mind control over the soul transfer. Now, for future reference, I want to let it be known, especially to my subscribers, that anytime the general public is all on the same page that a person has been cloned or replaced, you can pretty much ignore it. For years, hundreds of people have been replaced right in front of the eyes of the general public, and they couldn't see it. So there's no reason to believe that all of a sudden, they have eyes. Gucci Mane and other buffoons like him will continue to be the protectors and ambassadors of European brands and white hegemony. Sometimes when I think of racism, I think of one of the 4 seasons. For example, the winter season. We can never get rid of the winter, but we can dress appropriately to shield ourselves from the elements. The African American has attempted, but never successfully, creating the appropriate clothing to protect himself from the winter, or racism. I wonder, how can a people seek validation from the same people that they claim is oppressing them? The so-called African American will continue to be the perpetual victim of racism and buffoonery until he no longer seeks the validation from Europeans to feel Gucci about himself. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and until next time, this is Conspiracy Dude. Hundreds of thousands of people have seen the series, and dozens have made video responses. Looking back now, the sensationalized title was ridiculous, and a more appropriate title.